Sidekicks is brought to you by Pace Setter Soccer Club. Soccer excellence since 1980.
It is Wednesday night, time for Sidekicks, joined by Danny Fisher, Executive Director of Pace Setter, and Chris Black, biking enthusiast. And guys, let's jump right into it because the Northern Lakes League, they jumped right into it last night. Perrysburg, Anthony Wayne, boys on the pitch. And Danny, you had the call of that game. Zach Mocha, the lone goal for Anthony Wayne. I guess the question is the Northern Lakes League decided now because Anthony Wayne beat Perrysburg?
I don't think that'd be fair to say it. I think that would be unfair on Perrysburg and the other teams, but it was certainly a very good game last night, very competitive. Both teams played very well, and it was decided by a really good goal by Zach Mocha, a good team goal just after the half-time. So it was a good game with some good players on show last night. Chris,
I suppose if you're Perrysburg at this point, you go, okay, we lost this game in August. Good chance we can see Anthony Wayne again, though, later down the road once we get into the postseason.
Yeah, they, of course, learned a lot from that game, and the question is, what do they bring with it ongoing in this year? And yes, they have to be patient to wait for someone else to try and knock off Anthony Wayne to get in that hunt again for the NLL, but they've got to be happy with right now being in a nice pole position. I mean, second place in NLL right now is not a bad place to be. I know it's only one game. There's a lot of people at second place, but they can defend that now throughout the year. That was the big game in NLL so far. And basically, you know, that's a very experienced Perrysburg team, so I think they can probably weather the storm, what's coming, and learn a lot in case they do see him in the playoffs.
Similar position on the girls' side as tonight we saw Anthony Wayne pick up the victory over Perrysburg, a 3-0 win for the Generals over the Lady Jackets. And we've seen the NLL last couple years come down to Perrysburg and Anthony Wayne, and I think going into this season we thought it was going to be between the two again.
Yeah, a lot of people would have thought that, of course, and it was the early season, who can do what with what they have returning and what do they sort out. Perrysburg's obviously had a difficult time replacing all the goals that they've lost in the past couple of years. You know, right now, it's Anthony Wayne's Northwest Ohio to lose right now at this point on the girls' side. Now the question is, you know, just like the guys' side, they're quick out of the gates. Can they keep that going on the NLL side? You think they're pretty solid right now, but they want to be a top team in Ohio. And really, the only team close so far is St. Ursula, who had a tie 3-3 against Ashland, whereas Anthony Wayne beat Ashland 2-1. So that was close, but we saw a little bit of spreading happen out today a little bit. Part of it, which is because Notre Dame continues their tying trend, unfortunately, for Coach Chip Smith. I'm sure some people are grinding on about that, but they didn't lose, but another tie today against Clay.
Danny, last week we talked about some of the individual boys we're looking at this year. Let's look at some of the individual girls, and obviously you got Hannah Ribicki from Anthony Wayne leading the players on the girls' side this year.
Yeah, Hannah's a fantastic player, and she's going to have a really good season at Anthony Wayne this year, and they're going to rely on her a lot as well. The good thing with Anthony Wayne as well is now they are actually very young as well. They've got a young they've got a sophomore class which is very good. They've got a junior class which is very good. And they've got a freshman class coming through as well, which is very good as well. But a lot of good players this year throughout the Northwest Ohio, throughout the Toledo area. And as we said last week, there's a lot of young players, especially at Northview as well. There's some good young players there. You've got Megan Coakley, Cece Lutz, people like that in the mix as well. So it's going to be a good year and some good young players coming through the area.
Looking ahead, tomorrow, a big day for Toledo soccer as UT home opener, back on campus. Some big expectations of being back on campus for this Lady Rockets team.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game, and I think a big part of that is, of course, the crowd coming to it. Should be a great evening for that. A night game as well, which they're not really sorted out and used to it, so all sorts of fun things around that. But a lot of kids back for Toledo, but they lost a lot of goals with Scafaria. They lost some key players, only 2 seniors this year. And certainly getting Boofy back into the center back spot's going to help. And also some, as we saw, some Northwest Ohio kids. Josie Fowler coming back to Toledo after she transferred back from Marquette. Lexa Bowers out a little bit longer, and she'll be back in a few weeks, more likely. Peyton Sullivan as well. So that's going to be fun to watch how Northwest Ohio does. But UIC is interesting because they are going to press. So it's going to be exciting to see how they press. Can Toledo deal with it? And can they get their 2 phenomenal freshman front runners scoring? I mean, they have a lot of goals from their careers as travel and high school kids. Can they translate to the D1 level?
Soccer is heating up, so we're going to have plenty of good soccer to talk about over the next couple of weeks right here on Sidekicks. For Danny Fisher and Chris Black, we'll see you guys next week.